Hi, everybody. My name is Sarah. Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto, under 20 total carbs every day. And it's rare when I go over 10 total carbs, but I always say 20 because I don't know, it's just how it is. So, are you discouraged? Did you think that being on the keto food plan would give you everything that you wanted and more? Weight loss, non scale victories, transformation of your body into a different type body than you ever had, and now you're kind of discouraged because you keep doing the same thing each week. You're following it. You're not cheating, you're not slipping, you're not nibbling, you're not snacking. You're following all the best advice that the gurus can give you, and yet still something isn't right. Well, I know that I've seen from some people, and a whole lot younger than me, that sometimes there's like this 6 months even where nothing changes. The weight doesn't change, the body composition doesn't change, non-scale victories, there aren't any. There's a whole bunch of things, and sometimes it just takes a long time for your body to heal. It does. And I'm saying that as much for myself as I am for everybody that's listening today. It just is one of those quirky sort of things. Don't give up. Don't throw in the towel. See it through. Try to remember, if you started keto a while back, like a few months ago or something, just try to remember back about when you first entered into it and how great you felt, and how there were some victories. They weren't like, hundreds of pounds and going from size 22 to a size 6 in 2 months. There weren't those sort of things, but there was just this continuing feeling that you were doing the right thing for your body, and it was just time, and that this was a food plan that was a way of eating for life, not something where you could obtain an achievement or a goal, stop, and then maybe even go back to having sugars and grains and some of the different eating habits that you might have had before. Hang in there. It will get better. If nothing else, you're not getting worse. Your lab work is probably a little bit better. Maybe your cholesterol is high, but your cholesterol isn't the main event. It's not. It hasn't been for a long time. It's just mainstream doctors still hold on to that like it's it. Like your entire life is based on you taking statins. I don't know what their obsession with it is, but it's not my obsession. You've got this. You can do this. You can continue to tweak items in your favor, foods or beverages or way of having things, or maybe even throw in some fasting, dry fasting, fat fasting, fasting with water, fasting with coffee and water, different things that people have allowed themselves, even egg fasts. I don't do any of that. I intermittent fast with my cups of coffee with 1 tablespoon of heavy whipping cream in them, and I'll have 2 or 3 of those throughout the day until I get to my 1 meal a day, which is 23 and a half hours since my last meal, something like that. Sometimes it takes a half hour to 45 minutes to eat my meal. I still weigh and measure things. I still put things in the chronometer. I still, bank on that this is what's working for me. I seem to be at my set point weight, which is right now today, it's 124. No, yeah, 123.4, 1234 when I weighed myself this morning. I hadn't weighed for 3 weeks, and so the last time I weighed, I was a few ounces less. It doesn't get to me like it used to. I'm not a failure. I'm not going to throw in the towel and just go back to the standard American diet. I know that my body has fluctuations, and I know what I'm eating because, well, first of all, you see pictures of it. Second of all, it's in my chronometer, so I can see, and I've weighed and measured it. So I don't get woo-woo like I would if I didn't have those tools that I use every single day. Because those tell me that, like, it's a water weight, fluctuation, and that don't worry about it. It will all get back to where it was. And thank goodness, because I used to be crazy with the scale. Not that any of you ever had that, right? And it's not a fun place to be. It's an obsession that, until you give it up, it could still terrorize your head and your way of thinking and your way of feeling about yourself. So, until it stopped being an obsession, and I don't know when that happened. It must have been a few years ago, but one of the things I do suggest is just use one scale. Don't hop from one to the next, or use your doctor's one, or something that's at a pharmacy where you can hop on. It's just like the blood pressure sort of cuffs, that you can get different readings at 6 different places, and it can make for crazy making. And aren't we crazy enough? If you're here, if you've done a million gazillion different food plans like I have over your years and your decades of trying to get to your optimum weight, you know how a crazy making thing can just sit there and just haunt you. And I don't want to see any of you having that feeling. So don't give up. See it through. Just go on to the next right thing in your life, And if you have been cheating and nibbling and snacking and kind of integrating some standard American diet items into your food plan, either because they're there or because you think that you made it through the season and now you can, have a little something, something, you can always start over. You don't have to keep going. If you screwed up today, you don't have to screw up the rest of the day and call it a wash, although that is a human nature thing, right? So you can hop back on, you can have your abstinent food plan that you were planning on, and then just get on with your day. Stay away from the scale for a month if it's not your friend. I went those 3 weeks. I'll probably do it again. I'll probably go another 3 weeks. Why? Just because it isn't the be all end all that a lot of us think it is. It's not written on our fate, on our forehead in black magic marker. We don't have to walk through life shamed that, we gained a half a pound or even more, 2 or 3 or 4. Some people, some women that still have their cycles, they put on tremendous amounts of weight. And it just makes for a really tough situation. It's a weird ring. That's why I was just looking at that. So you don't have to rely on that. Rely on your body. What does your body tell you? Does something work for you and you love how you feel and you're just feeling much more comfortable? Then keep doing what you're doing. If having less drinkable fats in your food plan works, then do that. I gave up drinking my fats in my fatty coffees. Now I just have 1 tablespoon of heavy whipping cream and a little sweetener, which is Zyla, and that holds me. It is a wonderful way. At first I was having the extra fat, and then I gave up the sweetener, and then that just didn't feel right. My body said, no more extra fat in your coffee. Just go back to what you were drinking and enjoy it the way that you had it. And then I after giving up the sweetener, I found that I missed it. And so I tried it and I said, yeah, this holds me better. This is the only sweetener that I need. It's in my coffee. It's not in my food. My foods are all savory. And it just works out for me. But it's just funny how it is because, everything is tweaking and it always changes, just like it might for you. If you are your own experiment, n equals 1, then you're going to find that sometimes something just stops working the way that it was. And somebody watched one of my videos from 2017, and they were almost admonishing me because I wasn't doing what I was doing then, now, and how could I? And it's like, what? It's like we tweak all the time. Most of us tweak. Most of us find that, say we go from having a cup of coffee in our fasting part of our day, and we have 2 meals a day. One is at like 11ish or something, and then the next one's at 5. I don't know. And it works. And then you try 1 meal a day, but you might find that you're getting too hungry to wait till that 5 o'clock hour. And then you try to push it back a little, but then the person that you live with, you're not eating with them anymore. And it's just, you don't want to have it like that. And so you go back to the 2 meals a day. What did you learn? Well, you learned something about yourself, something that works just for you, not like how that person said you must, you should, you have to do it this way, right? And so it's a confidence builder to go through doing something and tweaking it just to see. You always reserve the right to go back to what you were having and see how you feel. And for some of us, it means returning, like me having the sweetener and the no added fat, except the heavy whipping cream in my coffee. For other people, it might be eating at different times. For other people, it might be instituting long-term fasts, like 1 or 2 days, and eating every third day. For some people, there's the ADF, alternate day of food, or something like that, and where they eat, they have like a 3 or 4 hour window on a Tuesday. They don't eat anything on Wednesday. And on Thursday, they go back to having that 4 hour window where they feast, the feasting and the fasting. For some, that works too. So we have all different ways of doing things, but it's finding what works for you. Some people, knock themselves out of spices. They don't add spices anymore. Other times, people will knock off the diet soda. Other times, people will not have that little bit of berries. They were allowing themselves to have berries, or they were allowing themselves to have cottage cheese or sour cream or yogurt, and they found that stalled them. Some people give up cheese totally. Other people give up other parts of the dairy. We all do things differently. We all kind of call it keto. It's our keto, and that's why I call people snowflakes here, because we are all unique and different, and that's what works for us. And so, and it's, like I said, it is a confidence builder because you've learned that about yourself. It's like, no, I can't do that. I thought I could, but I tried it for a few days, a few weeks, a few months, and it just doesn't work for me. So I'm back to my tried and true. I remember when I first entered here into keto world, what I did that worked for me, and I'm happy with it. And so that's how it works. Some people do shakes, some people do those protein bars. They're not for me, but for some of you, those things might work. Some people might take and have keto supplements. That could work for you. It doesn't work for me, but that doesn't mean it's not going to work for you. So stay keto strong with what your own keto is. And don't let people bully you or stray you from what it is that works, because and just trust your process. It's just yours. You're the snowflake. It almost turned into a rant, didn't it? Well, thank you so much for watching. This has been Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food, and thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't, and I also offer keto coaching. If you're having trouble with your food, your habits, your choices of foods, and times that you eat, and all other sorts of things. Just getting your hand together. You can find that and other information about that program at ketocoachingsarah.com. Thanks so much for watching. This has been Sarah, Pearls of Wisdom and Food with Keto, under 20 total carbs. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye for now.